Hello, everybody. Namaste. My name is Dr. Sai Kiran, and today I'm here to talk to you about Vedic mathematics and especially Vedic algebra. The world has seen the power of Vedic mathematics. From the past decade, you've seen that Vedic math has become quite popular. Many people have understood the power of Vedic mathematics, and many schools have started implementing Vedic mathematics. And many children even started liking mathematics. In the former days, we used to see that most children used to hate mathematics. But after Vedic math was implemented in the school curriculum, we are seeing that most children are, they've actually started loving mathematics. But the big question was Vedic math can only be applied for arithmetic, but not for algebra. That's a big myth. Well, let me tell you, whatever concepts we have used for arithmetic can also be used for algebra also. But the problem is, right now, there are very few people in the world who can teach Vedic algebra. And by God's grace, I'm one among those trainers who can teach Vedic algebra. And today, I would be talking to you about Vedic algebra and how Vedic algebra is superior over the Western, like algebra. So normally in our general academics, the way how they teach algebra, it's too very complicated. It goes very heavy on the children. Most children don't understand algebra at all. What most? I can say that more than 98% people out there, they don't understand algebra. But you may say that some children in the school, they perform very well in algebra. Well, yes, they do perform well in algebra, but the funniest part is they don't know why they are doing that. Please understand that algebra is nothing but an extension to arithmetic. Yes. Now, many people don't know this that algebra, okay, algebra is basically an extension to arithmetic only, nothing more than that. Okay. So it is also used to generalize arithmetic. See, either way, it is again getting connected with arithmetic only. Algebra is a branch of science which is used in finding the unknown numbers. Now, let me first tell you the difference between arithmetic and algebra. What exactly is arithmetic and what exactly is algebra? Let's first understand that, okay? Let me first talk about arithmetic. What exactly is arithmetic? How do you express it? Okay, yeah, let me first talk about arithmetic, right? Now, what is arithmetic is? Arithmetic is called known to unknown. Now, what exactly is known to unknown? Okay, now let me put it like numbers. Now, known means some known value of number, something like 48. Okay, now you know what is this number, right? Now, this is a known value of number, right? And mathematics goes around four operations, right? It is either addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. That's all. There's nothing beyond that in mathematics. All the calculations go on this four operations, okay? So we'll be using one of the operations out there, okay? Let's assume addition. Let me make it very simple to you first. So 48 added to, we'll take another number, 37. See, we know this value of the number, we know this value of the number, right? But what would be the answer when you calculate, when you add up both the numbers? Now, this we don't know. That we need to calculate, okay? We can only, arrive at the answer only after calculation, right? So we end up getting 85, right? Yes. So that's called known to unknown. Now we know this number, we know this number. This is known, but the answer is unknown. We need to apply the calculation skills and then arrive at the answer, right? So that's called arithmetic. Or let's take another operation like, in math, like 5246 minus 3789. How much? Now, you know this value of the number, you know this value of the number, but what is the answer? Now, we don't know until we calculate that, right? So we perform very fast using Vedic maths, okay? So we get 1, then 4, then 5, and 7, right? So that's it. So this called known to unknown, or something like 57 times 68 is equal to how much? See, we know 57, we know 68, right? But what's the answer? No, we can't tell the answer until we actually calculate that, right? Or something like 7,986 divided by 57 equals how much? No, we can't tell the answer until we actually calculate it, right? So that's called known to unknown. Got it? So that's arithmetic all about calculating known values of the number to the unknown values. Then what exactly is algebra then? Now, algebra is arithmetic the other way around. Like, take a look at this. Now, let me make it very simple to you. Um, Let me ask you a question first. Now, it's something like fill in the blanks, okay? Now, dash, some number, some dash added to a number like 12 is equal to 15. Now, can you fill in the dash there? What number should be added to 12 to make it 15? It's 3, right? That's it. Finding that unknown. That's why arithmetic, that algebra is called like unknown to known. That's it. Unknown to, as simple as that. Here in the arithmetic, we know the question, but we don't know the answer. But in algebra, we know the answer, but we need to and we know one of the values of the question, but the other value we don't know. So finding that unknown value, that's algebra all about. Or something like dash times 5 equals 20. So what would be the answer like? Okay. Or like 15 divided by some number, some unknown. See, we actually don't know that number, right? Equals, okay, like 5. What would be that number? I think you probably got it right. So of course we do this, we do some calculations, right? Okay, so that's all about algebra, like calculating unknown to known. So until we don't have perfect grip in arithmetic, we just can't understand algebra at all. That's why you need to have some basic foundation in arithmetic. And the basic, like criteria to learn the Vedic algebra is just knowing tables from 2 to 10. That's it. That's all there to it. If you know tables from 2 to 10 perfectly, then you can get started with learning Vedic algebra. Now, the way how algebra is taught in the general academics, it's very, very complicated because they're all westernized methods. But then Vedic math applies some word aphorisms, or we call as sutras. We apply some sutras, and by using these sutras, we can accomplish huge calculations very fast, right? And the same sutras what we apply in arithmetic can be applied in reverse, and we can solve algebra. Now let me show you one simple algebraic like problem. We'll take a problem from linear equations, something like this. We'll first work out on the basic equation form called x plus b equals c. Okay. Now, normally in our general academics, like if there's a problem, something like x plus 4 is equal to 12. So we, like what we do, we subtract 4 on the both the sides, right? We minus 4 here and we minus 4 here, we do all that, right? But in Vedic math, we follow a sutra called the Paravartya Yojate. Okay. Now, what is the Paravartya Yojate? The word Paravartya means transpose and apply. Now, what we do here is, in our Vedic mathematics, instead of doing all this lengthy process, we just do this. Now, instead of writing x there, we put a dash there. That's it. Some unknown. Now, what is all these variables? Like, they're all unknown numbers. That's why we use the letter there to hide the numbers. So we write like this: dash plus 4 equals 12. Now, there's a sutra called the transpose. Now, what is transpose? Transpose means like, I just tell you, okay? It's called the transpose method. Okay. Now, transpose means if it is plus 4, if you transpose it, that becomes minus 4. As simple as that. Or vice versa. If it's minus 4, if you transpose minus 4, it becomes plus 4. Got it? So just doing the opposite. Plus means minus, minus means plus. So what we do, so dash plus 4 is equal to 12. So we just take this plus 4 the other side of the equation, and this guy becomes minus 4, right? So 12 minus 4, you get 8, right? That's it. So the dash is equal to 8. So we don't really have to do all that. We can just see this plus 4 there and just think, the minus 4, whatever number you have on the right side of the equation, just think, the opposite of that sign, like, and then think 12 minus 4, that is 8. You can just think in flash of a second, or something like dash minus 3. Now this is slightly complicated, okay, is equal to minus 9. Now take a look at this one. Now how would this work? Now what we do, we take this minus 3, the other side becomes plus 3, right? So minus 9 and plus 3, you get minus 6. As simple as that. So dash is equal to minus 3. The same thing in our general algebraic notation is written like x minus 3 is equal to 9. But when we look at the letters there, the children get confused, because math is all about numbers, like. But when you combine them with letters, most children get confused. So what we do in our algebra, wherever you find the variables, we just put a dash. That's all. This becomes like a game for them. Like it would be like solving a puzzle once you use a dash instead of the letters there. Okay. But when you combine the letters and numbers together, most children get confused. Okay. Now let's take one more example, something like uh, 7 minus dash is equal to 3. Now, how would this work? Okay. Now I told you we just transpose and take it the other side. Okay. So the plus 7 goes the other side, becomes minus 7, right? As simple as that. Okay. So 3 minus 7. So you get how much? It's minus 4, right? That's it. Now when you do 7 minus 4, okay, do you get 3? Yes. As simple as that. Okay. So this is the way how we solve the simple linear equations. Of course, we have higher equation forms, and we have the quadratics, we have the cubics, we have the biquadratics, we have higher degree, expressions. Okay, we have to factorize some higher degree equations. Everything can be performed by transposing only. Okay, and most of the algebraic expressions, many people don't understand that they are linked to numbers actually. Now let's take an equation like this, some quadratic equation like 2x square minus 7x minus x equals 0. Now do you know that this number is actually linked to some arithmetic number, some numeric, some positive number only actually. Though you see some negative terms in there, but then this actually means some positive number only. Now, how do you transpose that? Well, that we'll be teaching in the main workshop. How we transpose this equation into the normal numbers. We don't take it like an algebraic, like expression. We transpose them into normal numbers like 246 or 174 or 869. We perform like arithmetic only. And whatever answer you get, we later retranspose it back to like algebra form. So this only happens in Vedic mathematics. So once you know the basic techniques of arithmetic in Vedic math, like some small additions, we have some beautiful techniques in additions. Then we have Vedic subtractions. Then we have very powerful techniques in multiplications, especially the vertically crosswise multiplication method, or we call it as the Urdhva Tirak Vyam. That's the ultimate technique. Now, just by Urdhva Tirak Vyam, you can finish off complete algebra. Okay. Then we have the divisions. We use very powerful techniques in divisions. Especially, we use the Dvajank method, which is the crowning jewel of Vedic mathematics. That's the ultimate method. Okay, so we apply, the basic four operations of Vedic math, and that's it. With that, whatever we learned, through Vedic math sutras, the same techniques can be applied to solve even algebra also. But the modern world, we follow all Western algebra, and this Western algebra, believe me, it's so very complicated that many people don't understand it. It is a cause of, a lot of depression in many children. Now we see that many children, resort to some extreme steps, unable to understand this algebra. But when we learn algebra the Vedic way, believe me, it will be a pleasure learning algebra. The normal Western algebra, uh, they create some teasers and taunters. Okay, they are so complicated that we don't really understand from where these equations are coming, how these equations are created. But in Vedic algebra, we'll first show how the algebraic equations are created first, how they are created. So only once you understand how these algebraic, expressions are created, only then we can understand, right, how to solve them. Okay, so we first understand how these problems are created. Now, if you have a problem something like this, like 3x power 4 minus 4x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6, and we divide it by a trinomial, something like x squared plus 7x minus 9. Now, do you know all this number can be transposed to normal numbers, like, natural numbers? Though you see some negative terms in that, don't panic. There's a method in Vedic mathematics by which we first transpose this, you know, algebraic expression into numeric expression. Even this also, even the divisor there, you see now, x squared plus 7x minus 9, we first transpose it to normal numeric expression. We solve it like arithmetic only, and after we solve the problem, whatever answer we get, we again retranspose it back to algebraic form. Yes. So this is the beauty of Vedic math, that we can like solve all the algebra just by using arithmetic only. But these techniques are not taught in our general academics. So most children, they get confused with algebra. So I am here to teach you this Vedic algebra. So we start right from the basics, like, we start right from like finding the missing numbers. Okay, what exactly is the origin of algebra? Okay, who invented algebra actually? In the ancient days, how they used to apply algebra. Then we go for the finding the missing numbers. Then we go for the same missing numbers in additions, subtractions, multiplications, and divisions. Later we introduce the child to like variables. Instead of the missing numbers, like putting a dash, we replace a dash with variables. We'll make a like a student understand what exactly a variable means. And then later, the variable with degrees, like if you have a, and if you have b, or if you have c, or something like you have a variable like k, if you have a variable like g, if you have a variable like m, and sometimes you get m square, sometimes you get k cube, or sometimes you get r raised to the power of 9, or 7r raised to the power of 9. What exactly they mean? What exactly they mean? I mean, this is not taught in our academics because this is so complicated. Even the teachers don't understand this. The most funniest part is that even the teachers are not aware about all this secret, because the way how we are taught algebra is like general equations, like in expressions. That's it. So what is an equation? What is an expression? Again, there's a differentiation, like, so how to convert the algebraic expressions to numeric expressions? There's a science related to that. So in the workshop, I'll be teaching you how we need to do all that. So once we understand how to transpose the algebraic expressions to numeric expressions, it becomes arithmetic only, right? So once you can transpose all the algebra to numeric expressions, you can solve it like arithmetic. And once you understand how to transpose the numeric expressions back to algebraic expressions, you usually understand that what exactly is the meaning of the given algebraic expression. So we'll be doing it one step at a time in our Vedic algebra course. So we're planning to conduct the Vedic algebra course. Now this course is actually divided into 3 levels. So in level 1, we'll be talking about the basics of algebra. So getting the student like acquainted with the missing numbers, the variables, and the slight basic 4 operations of, like, algebra. Okay. So once a student finishes of level 1, you'll be very confident enough to face even the next level. In the level 2, we'll be dealing with the higher multiplications and divisions, especially the long multiplications and long divisions in algebra. Now, these are, believe me, very, very complicated, like topics in algebra. Most people don't understand, like, how these division problems are created, or how these multiplication problems are created. Again, in this, we have 3 levels actually. In all algebra, of course, we have 3 levels, I mean, we have the basic and medium and higher. Again, in that problems also, we have again three levels. We call first the easy type, second we call the medium type, and the third we call the higher type. And we have something beyond the higher type, which we call them as the teasers and taunters. Yes, teasers and taunters. Now, what are teasers and taunters? Most of your algebra questions, okay, given in the schools are your taunters only, or teasers or taunters. Once you understand what are teasers and taunters after the higher level, then you can take on any problem given by the examiner. Okay, even in level 2 we have the same thing. We have the easy type, medium type, higher type, and of course based on the higher only we'll be also talking about the teasers and taunters. Okay, so in the level 2 we'll be talking about all the long multiplications and long divisions in algebra. And in the level 3 we'll be going for the more higher aspects, like dealing with any kind of algebraic equations, starting from linear. What exactly is a linear equation? Why do you call it linear? What exactly the linear means? And then we go for the power 2, that's called the quadratic. Why you call the power 2 quadratic? Why any number to the power 2 is actually called a square? We even talk about that. Why any number to the power 3 or any term to the power 3, it's called a cube. So quadratics and cubics. And why there's no name to powers after 3, if you have like x to power of 3 you say x cube, right? But x to power of 4 you read like x power 4, right? Why there isn't a name to x power 4? If x power 7 is there, why isn't a name to x power 7? Like we say square and cube, why isn't there a name to that? So we'll be talking about all that also. We'll also talk about what is linear, that is one dimension. What is your square, the two dimension? What is the cubic, with the third dimension? What is the fourth dimension? What are the other dimensions? Well, all this will be covered in your level 3 of algebra. And we also talk about certain rules which they don't teach in the school, like why is minus times minus plus? Well, this is a big question which bogs almost everybody, including the teachers. Minus times minus plus, why? Because they have been taught that. Now, why they have been taught like that? Well, nobody, explains it in a very simple language. But through Vedic math, I'll be showing you beautifully why is minus times minus plus. Okay, and why is plus times minus is minus. Okay, and so forth. Why is plus times plus plus? What is the proof to that? What is the scientific proof? Even a child say of 6 7 years can understand it very clearly. So we'll be teaching it all this in very simple language. And after all this, we'll be proceeding towards our factorizations of quadratics, cubics, biquadratics, even higher degree equations. You could give any big degree, like x power 20, x power 40, x power 100, x power 75. Such a huge exponents. And in that we'll be dealing with two terms, rather, I mean, what I mean is the three terms and four terms also. Yes, and also factors by grouping, so many things, including the radicals, algebraic radicals. Everything will be taught to you in these three levels. The A to Z of algebra will be taught in all these three levels. Once you understand the three levels of algebra, you can deal anything in algebra very easily, because you can correlate the algebra to your arithmetic. Okay, once you can transpose the algebra to arithmetic, it becomes very easy for anybody to take on algebra in a very simplified manner. So those who are interested, I'll be giving my contact number to you people, so you can send me a message across, or you can contact me. This is my contact number. My phone number is 9247 386632. That's my contact number. So you can actually get in touch with me. You can also visit my website. It is www.vedic maths, mind you, it's maths, vedic maths guru.com. That's my website details. Okay, that's my phone number. So if you have any queries regarding algebra, you want to join my program, you can just call me up, and I will inform you the dates when we are starting the batches. Okay, believe me, this Vedic algebra is the most highest knowledge ever known to the man, the highest mathematics. By using this Vedic algebra only, we can understand even the higher mathematics very, very easily, like calculus, trigonometry, everything. Okay, once you understand all this. So looking forward to see you all in the main workshop. Hope you all enjoyed my talk. And I'm willing to share my knowledge with you all. Now it's for you to take the initiative of contacting me and getting trained by me. Thank you all so much for your time. God bless you all. See you in the main workshop. Thank you.